Welcome back to another episode of Young's Repair Shop. This time around, we're going to get back to work on the Cadillac. I've got a carburetor rebuild kit and some stuff to fix my headlight adjusters. And I don't know what else we're going to do, but yeah, we're going to start there and see where it goes. So just kind of a little recap of sorts where we left off on this thing since it's been so long. We've got a new reman distributor with a new cap and rotor. Still the old coil, I believe. We've got an Edelbrock 600 carb on it. The Edelbrock, I don't have cruise. We've got a new alternator. That's not the one I put on in the parking lot. That is a different one because the one I put on in the parking lot was wrong. It was a 1-wire. This is a 3-wire. I got a Walmart Never Start battery, new battery cables, new reman starter up in there, new plug wires, new plugs, a blower motor out of a square body, and just a whole bunch of new stuff on this thing. We've still got the exhaust leaks. So here's the carburetor that come off of the car. I have researched those numbers some, but I can't find a lot on it. Everything on here, all the linkages and everything seem to be in pretty good shape. I do have my vacuum tester thing out. I'm going to test these vacuum pieces. I'm no carburetor guru by any means, but they do something with the choke and the, I don't know. I've got another one here that only has this piece on it, which is this. So I guess if this one doesn't work, maybe this one will. And then this engine, we'll see in another video, but it's got the one on the back, but it's made different. It's got 2 rods going to it. So I don't know. We're going to test all that, tear it apart, see if there's even anything wrong with it, and put it back together. Like I said, I've got a whole kit for it. And then we're going to address the headlight adjusters. I got some metal ones. We're going to put those in and fix it to where you won't have to worry about it. They might rust in place, but they ain't gonna get unadjusted because the plastic breaking. So we're gonna do that. It does require some drilling, but once you get them in, you won't ever notice it. I don't feel like sending this to some carb shop or whatever and spending hundreds of dollars on a carburetor rebuild. So I'm gonna suffer through it and do it myself. Did notice this has no gasket on it. It looks like it should be a gasket. Yeah, right there's the gasket that should probably go there. So there was no gasket there. That's good. Don't know what that is, but there wasn't anything there. I'm gonna put y'all on fast forward. If I see anything it's interesting, I'll stop and let you know. But I just wanted to show y'all this. This is crazy. Now I did run it on this carburetor for quite a while. Whenever I first fired it up, I'd never even pulled his carb off and went through it. I just figured, you know, whatever, it'll run. It's a quadrajet, it'll run. But just get your eyeballs in here and look. That's not a flashlight. Look at how, I mean, yeah, it's got dirt in here, but look at how fairly clean it is in there for sitting for how long it did. You know, before I got this thing, it had been sitting for 27 years. Now the needle is completely wore out. If it'll focus, there it goes. So that's completely shot, but that's really the only piece on here that I see that's horribly wore out yet. If you let one of these sit now for just a year, probably not even that long, with this, you know, good quality gas we have, ethanol gas and all that stuff, it would gum up in a heartbeat. And this thing was sitting for 27 years and it's not even gummed up. That's a pretty good testament to how things used to be made to me. But nonetheless, I got some ice cream calling my name. So we'll see y'all back tomorrow. All right, well, it's been a couple days, but I'm gonna come out here and do these headlight adjusters because that's the way my brain works, and it's light outside. So I can work in the building on the carburetor after it gets dark, which time has changed now. So, oh, in case you was wondering, my ice cream was good. That was like a week ago. So I'm gonna pop at least one of these out, maybe both of them to begin with, and show y'all what's going on. Well, I got these headlights out, and per the usual, what I have will not work. I bought all these to do a square body Chevrolet, but the Cadillac is made different, and I'll get you in here and show you. See, now the square bodies, the pieces behind the buckets are metal because it's your core support, right? Well, this is not like that. I didn't think anything of it. So this is all plastic, which is fine, but see how close all the holes are to the edges? And this one's not even bad. This one I could get to work, but like these top ones, you have no edge on either side for this to be able to fit. See, what I'm wanting to do was come in here, drill 2 small holes that'll line up with the holes in that, and rivet it in place, and use that as my headlight adjuster nut. Like I said, I could get it to work here, but even this side one is made different, so that's the only one that I'd be able to get it to work on. I do have some shorter ones that I had ordered thinking these would work for the square body, but these are too short. If you get them centered over the hole, you don't have enough on either side for your rivets. So that's where we're at. So I guess I'm gonna order the correct ones, because the Cadillac ones are made way better. They're made like this, so they can't actually pull back through once you get them in. And that was the problem I was having with the square body stuff, is they wouldn't latch in good. And if I did have one that latched in good, then it stripped out. So maybe I can get some better ones, and I'll help it along when I'm adjusting them by taking pressure off of the spring. But Anyway, that's where we're at with this. So I guess it'll look like this until I get the right things. Also, little side note here, if anybody was wondering how your, I forget what they call these, but it lets you know your lights are on. It tells you which lights are working or whatever. If anybody's curious as to how that works, it's these middle pieces in your headlight plugs, which you've got one for high beam, which is the outside, one for low beam in here, and then one for your side marker slash turn signal, which is this light. And then you've got one for each side on the back. Well, the way it works is this isn't actually a light. It doesn't get power. All it is a fiber optic. So if I come in here and I shine my light on that one, then your high beam's on. See, all you gotta do is come in here and shine your light on there, but then your high beam indicator's on. And the back of your headlights, if my flashlight don't go away, the back of the headlights have a place. If I take this rubber piece off, there's like a squeezed together piece of glass that reflects the light into this rubber piece, which reflects it into the fiber optic. This is a replacement headlight, and it does not have that. So what I had to do with this one was just squeeze the rubber piece, you know, kind of on that raised up place there, or kind of set it on there and then plug it in. The plug had enough tension to hold it in place, but that one don't work as good as it would have if it was new or if it was correct. Plus, these here don't work as good as the other side because these are cracked. At least these two are, the high beam and the low beam. That side works great. You can see them really well. These two, where they're cracked, I guess you can't see them as good, but I'm guessing that's just a lens in there. But anyway, now I'm gonna clean up the tools that I strode out to do this and go back in and work on the carburetor again, because apparently that's what we should have been doing anyway. Well, we've made progress on the carburetor. I got the bottom piece off and the top piece off. I think I left last time I had that off. Didn't have that spring or that ball and all that stuff out. Pulling the choke off now. There's our filter. Our filter was really clean looking, and I'm sure it needs replaced, but I don't have a new one. I'll probably get one, but I don't have one. There's our jets. Pulling the choke apart. None of that looks horrible. And I mean, the choke seemed to work. At least, well, I don't know. I don't know if it did or not. I honestly don't know how any of this really correlates. Really, this is just a quick down and dirty, pull the carburetor apart, put it back together. The only question is these vacuum pieces. I did say that we were going to test those. I've got my vacuum gun here, vacuum pumper upper thing. We are going to test those. Alright, so this, yep, that's not what I wanted to happen at all. Since I took the base plate off, this stand isn't made for this anymore. So I guess it's not going to hurt if we stop using the stand. Can y'all still see that? Oh yeah, okay. So had to adapt it down because this is too big for these. But all we're gonna do is hook this up, set to vacuum, and we're not working at all. So that one's no good. I hope the other one I have is good. So now we'll test this one, and absolutely nothing. So neither one of the vacuum pieces even work. So that's good. Now I'm gonna pull that off of this piece and the vacuum piece off of here and the choke mechanism, and I'm gonna throw them. Actually, my ultrasonic has to warm up, so I'll probably do that tomorrow, and I'll get everything cleaned up, and then we'll come back and we'll put it back together. All right, well, here's the square body that we're gonna see if that little vacuum piece works on. It's a 84 Scottsdale, Chevrolet Scottsdale. It's full of stuff to go to Goodwill right now, but got all the gauges, no dummy gauges, no tack. Got a Sony radio that works when it wants to, AC, of course aftermarket gauges, 4-wheel drive. A pretty well optioned truck. This is a family heirloom, I guess you could say, and that door shuts really well, always has. I got the truck probably 5-ish years ago, can't remember. It's got a 400 in it that needs a lot of work, but she does still run good when you get her to run. I've done quite a bit of work to this truck. It used to be my daily driver for a while. I'll be honest with you, I will be kind of surprised if that works, but this is the 400 in all of its glory. I don't know how well y'all can see, but that's the breather I've got on it, and it just pours all out of the breather. It's got so much blow by, it's not even funny. It burns oil like a 2-stroke, and I've got a leaf down in my carburetor somehow. That's pretty cool. Oh, yeah, we'll just crunch it up and send it down in there. Yep, okay. It needs a lot of love. But here's what we're after. I've already pulled the line off of it. I'm gonna hook it up to my vacuum tester and see if that will work. If it does, we're gonna rob it off of there. All right, got the vacuum tester hooked up. I'll get y'all in there. It wants to work, or it tried moving a little bit. Maybe that's just me. Yeah, that's just me pushing on the gun, so, or on the tester. So yeah, that one don't work either. Well, that's the square body in a nutshell. Y'all have to let me know if you want to see anything on this truck. My plans are to fix up this truck, but like I said, this one needs a lot of work. I would try to fire it up, but I don't have a battery. I stole the battery out of this to put in the Cadillac when I first got the Cadillac, and well, I broke the battery. If you want to see that, you can go back to the first Cadillac video. So I don't have a battery for it anymore. So I'll have to order that one vacuum piece. If I'm ordering stuff, I may go ahead and order both, just so I know they work. But other than that, my headlight adjusters came in. And just in case I want to drive the Cadillac, I'm going to go ahead and put those in. Because I can't drive it the way it is because it ain't got no headlights. So let's swap back to that and put those in. Well, we got one side done. I ain't got the trim back on it yet, but got both of those headlights put in, all 4 adjusters in. Still got to tear this side apart and do it. I didn't film putting that side in, just wanted to get it done. The weather has went from like springtime weather to back to winter again because it's North Carolina and we change weather by the day. So just wanted to get them done fast so I can get out of the cold. But I'll tear into this side hopefully tomorrow evening when it's a little warmer and show y'all what all's going on in there. I think I got them pretty close to what they're supposed to be, but I'll have to get the trim on, get it back running, or fire it up. It runs fine. Fire it up and turn the headlights on and aim them that way. So we'll see y'all back tomorrow. Alright guys, we're back out here again. Next day. Let me show you what's going on these headlights on this side. That way maybe you can figure out how they're going together. Alright, so this is what we got. Empty hole. Broke this headlight trying to unplug it. This come off. I'm going to try to solder that back on. I don't know if I have any solder here though. But the way these work, this is the original style. The old ones actually look identical to these, and that's why I bought these. And what's different about these, to me, is they're not threaded inside. So when you thread the screw into them, it's actually going to make your threads. So what I've done here is I've already started 2 of them, as you can see here. And also what they do when you thread them in, it spreads these legs out to hold them in the hole a little better. So you start them like that, and then all you do is you come from the back side around. That's why I've removed everything so I can get to it. You come through the back and push them through the hole, and then you fight and struggle and get this on both of the bolts, and then hook the spring on, and then put the headlight back in, and then adjust it. I'm sure you could probably do it without removing everything. If you could get to the back side of this easily, like on a truck, you can get to the back side of this pretty easily. On this, you cannot. I'll get this one popped in and figure out something with the headlight, do that one, and try to get all this done so I can adjust them. Alright, so what I have found, I got my 2 pieces popped in. What I have found to be the easiest doing these, this one's a little bent up for some reason, is to get this bolt in first and then put the side one in, because the side one's kind of slotted upwards. If you put this one in first, then you really fight this one trying to get it on. So there's a slot in the bolts right there that slides in to the slots in your headlight bucket. It goes just like that, and that's what keeps, that way you can move it either direction. Same over here, it slides in, and it's kind of beveled right there to keep it where you put it. So let me straighten this one out first, actually. Alright, I'm going to show you how I do it. I may be doing it completely wrong. Somebody out there on the interwebs might have a way easier way to do this. If you do, please let me know, because I absolutely hate doing these. Especially when they're bent like this one is. That just makes it harder than it needs to be. I just tried this off of the car with one and it went perfectly. So of course when I put it on the car, it's gonna fight me tooth and nail. There it goes. I think, maybe. Okay, now you get this one in. Like I said, that's why I do the top one first, because the side one is easy after that. And, well, I had a tool for it. Where did the tool go? If you don't have one of these little spring tools, they're really handy. Picked it up at Advance. Didn't even know they made such a thing. But all it is a little T-handle with a hook on one end. It's kind of curved. Really handy for springs of about any kind. So now that you've got your spring hooked, you can see that it's all floppy-jawed and everything. Generally where I set these at is about middle of the screw as far as how deep they are in the adjuster. I had it, yeah. So that's an old adjuster where it was adjusted at. So it's about middle of the screw. That'll get your depth kind of right and get you a pretty good starting point as far as adjusting the headlights. Another thing I kind of like to do adjusting these is kind of hold tension off of the spring, so whichever way you're adjusting, since these adjusters are just plastic, you don't want them to break on you because you're pulling against the spring tension. So have had that happen. Now I've got to see if I have any solder here to fix my headlight I broke. If I don't, I'm gonna have to buy one, I guess. That's gonna suck. Well, I got it fixed maybe. I may have messed up the light, but I won't know until I get it plugged back in. But I was able to hold that terminal back over it and just heat it up, and there was some solder still on it that kind of remelted. So now we have to keep from messing this up while we put it back in, which will be a task in itself. Can we get this on without breaking something? Maybe. Hopefully. Well, it's on. I can't attest to how long it's going to stay that way, but it's on. So then of course you've got your trim ring here. I mean, they're just little bitty screws, but I've been taking them and putting some anti-seize on them because I don't feel like fighting them at a later date. All right, well, I'm gonna get this one on, get that and tore apart, put that in together. Now that I've showed you one, kind of know how everything's going. Once I get it all put back together, then we'll come back. Gotta wait till it gets dark to adjust them, but we'll get it all put back together and then we'll be back. Well, as you can see, we're not back at the time that I said we was going to be, because we're still not done yet. And that's because the last light I had, last two adjusters, went to put the spring on and it broke. Never had that happen. Oh yeah, now I've got to wait on that. Still waiting on parts on the carburetor. Once they come in, we'll get back on that. So we didn't even get to adjust the headlights today, but that's how it goes. Well guys, we got all the headlights in. Got new springs that come in for that headlight. I got enough to do all of them, but I'm not going to do them unless they break. Still need to get it out to align them, make sure they're pointing right. Still got the carburetor all tore apart. Still waiting on those things. The two vacuum pull off choke things, whatever they are. All right, guys, we're back. It's been probably about 2 weeks since I filmed the last time on this video. And I'll be honest with you, I just want to get this one done at this point. I've probably been filming this video on and off for about a month now. And it's been, it might not have been that long, but at least 3 weeks. It's just been crazy. Waiting on parts and doing this and doing that and working on other stuff. Anyway, what we got going on today, got that carburetor put back together. Finally. Had my two new things come in, got them on, got the carb all put back together. I've almost got this one off, so I'm gonna finish pulling that one off all the way, put that one on, and then we'll, I don't know, see where our tuning is at and what it might need. You might ask, why am I pulling the Edelbrock off to put the quadrajet back on? The biggest reason is I want my cruise back. I can't use my cruise control with the Edelbrock carburetor, but the quadrajet was made for it. So, and I want to use that Edelbrock on something else. So let's tear that off of there the rest of the way and put that quadrajet back on. Well, we got the Edelbrock off. It's laying over there. Everything looks good. So now we're going to put the quadrajet back on and figure out how to run all of our vacuum stuff again, because it's a little different on this carburetor. But other than that, looking good so far. Well, it got dark on us, but we got the old quadrajet on there. Now I'm gonna clean up my tools here so they don't go flying everywhere and get in the fan and all that good stuff. And then we're gonna see if it'll run, because I don't know if I rebuilt it right or not. I just kind of, put it together and said, that looks like where it went. So we'll see. Let's see if it'll run. There we go. Well, guys, we got the carb back on. I just have got back from test driving it around a little bit. My plans was to drive it around, get it warm, get it back and tune on it some. And then I wound up chasing some timing things. My timing, the way it's working still, to me, isn't quite right. I don't know exactly what's going on there, but I can't drive it around at night anymore because I smelt something burning and realized it was something to do with having the headlights on. Well, down here and right here, this little doodad, I don't know if this is the problem or what the problem was, but as you can see, I had some very warm wires. Here's the one that pulled out of it. I grabbed a hold to this, trying to track down my burning smell while I smelt it. And when I grabbed a hold of it, I pulled that wire out of it. And when I did that, now I don't have any headlights. So it's got something to do with the headlights. I don't know what that is or what the problem may be. Maybe a bad connection there, or maybe a bad, I don't know, a bad headlight, a bad whatever that is. I don't know. Maybe a bad, wherever my dimmer switch is. Oh, it's covered up. Maybe a bad one of those. Maybe a bad headlight switch. I don't know. So if any of y'all have any idea what that little box is, I'm guessing it's some type of relay for the bright and dim. Sorry about the dog barking. We have coyotes like crazy. Y'all might even be able to hear them. But like I say, if anybody's got any idea what may be causing that, or what the box is, or any of that, put it down in the comments, because I don't know what it is. I'm gonna have to go look through my books to figure that out. But if y'all like seeing stuff like this, I know this video was kind of, I don't know, it wasn't, it was kind of just working on it. We didn't really do anything, but we're getting there. Got some other things coming. This video just took way yonder longer than I really wanted it to. But if y'all like stuff like this, or like stuff that I've done in the past, like it, comment on it, tell me what you want to see, subscribe, hit the little bell thing. That way it lets you know when I put a new one out. I will show you, I got a brake lathe. I picked that up pretty cheap, and everything on it works. Well, that'll do it for this time. We'll catch y'all again on the next one. We'll see you then. Bye.